Hello everyone. We are here with round 5 of our Can-Am season. We've got Silverstone today, and 19 drivers will be taking part in qualifying and the race here today. So, plenty up for grabs still early on in the season. We have got a car already leaving the pit lane quite early on in the session. It is the Aston Martin of I'm gonna say Oro on that one. It is, yeah. Cool. Perfect. And now I've got rid of the wrong stuff. Here we go then. There we go. Right, so we've got Oro and McCoy leading us away in the session for the opening laps of qualifying. I wonder what they will set the benchmark as today, and probably some decent times to go in through the week, through qualifying as well. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some mid 125s, maybe quicker, since the update the other day. So a few things, with the update as well, they've updated tyres for Silverstone, track times as well, make hopefully go a bit quicker. And as we are watching Oro at the minute, heading down to turn 1 so far, through there nicely, through turn 2 and 3 we go. Looking pretty decent so far. We have got McCoy on his flying lap as well. We will compare their times as we head through the sectors here. So it is a 27.5 for Oro. It will be what would it be here? Didn't quite see that properly. But it looked a fairly decent second half of the sector for McCoy as well in the McLaren there. Let's head back to Oro as he heads through Maggots and Beckett's now. Probably some of the toughest but most fun corners on the calendar. Get it wrong though, your lap is done for, using a decent amount of overtake for the Aston Martin driver as we head back to McCoy. Again, we've missed his sector time. What an absolute donut. We will just be surprised by what the 2 times are for the... Oh, that was unlucky for Oro, having a little slide through the final couple of corners there. It is a 127.5 for the opening lap this time around, and it is a 128 dead for McCoy. NASCAR flying in with a 126.8. Clint with a 27.4. Let's head to Pizza for his... We were just about to go on for the rest of his lap there, but he has gone across the line for P6 so far. Here's MJ on a on an out lap. Let's head to Exception now, heading into the pits. Ninja and EA Frenny all on flying laps at the moment. Here is the Ferrari of Ninja heading down to the final part of the circuit. 3 corners to go for him. A left hand corner, a right hand corner, and then another right hander. And heading across the line any moment now for the Ferrari. It is a 1:28.4 up into P7 for his first lap of the session. It is EA here as well. A little bit behind traffic. We will head on board probably. Logan is heading up to Cops a little bit further away than planned, to be honest. So we'll go with EA on again around the final few corners. We jump on board the cars here just to see what they go, and it is a 27.6 for EA. Decent time there for him. Back on board Logan in the McLaren here. He has got Edgar behind him by the looks of it as well, so it's a 28.3 for Logan. It is a 27.8 for Edgar. Mr. G flying in up into P7 with a 27.8. Pretty decent time for Mr. G there. Has done some decent qualifying recently since swapping teams at the start of the season. It was pretty decent last year at times as well in the Red Bull, and taken some decent form with him to Racing Bulls as well. So we'll see what he can do through the rest of the session. Here's Capitano in the Haas. Final couple of corners. He is across the line with a 29.7. Probably just a banker for Capitano. A little bit off the pace at the minute, but again, plenty of time in the session, and no doubt we will see a fair few of these times come flying down at some point as well, with roughly Will flying through that middle sector through Maggots and Beckett's a moment ago. He is now heading down to the final few corners in the Ferrari. Can he leapfrog his teammate who's 13th? He's up into 4th. That is an unbelievable time for Will and has come a long way so far this season. Exception or set a decent first sector. Unfortunately has invalidated since then though. That is unfortunate for him, but we're 10 minutes to go, just under. Plenty of time for him to jump into the pit lane and set another lap. Right, who else is on a flyer at the moment? Fair few drivers heading out for more laps at the minute. Here is Oro on another flying lap, sat in second at the minute. A fairly solid lap time to start with, only a few tenths off of the Williams of NASCAR. And can probably take the fight to Oro can probably take the fight to NASCAR for pole position, and has looked fairly strong at the minute. Sorry about this, just trying to grab the standings up while I can. So, with Oro currently sat second place in this race, he is also second in the championship. Has unfortunately dropped a position and overtaken by Haas of Jensen. So he's going to want a nice clean weekend for this race. Takes his time down to a 27.0. Lost a bit of time through the final bit of lap after using probably a bit too much battery after Maggotts and Beckett's. We'll definitely need to conserve a little bit more through his next lap. We've got Clint on an out lap ahead of Jensen, giving a massive tow down the Hamilton straight there. That is going to give Jensen a massive advantage as we head to the final bit of his lap. It is 2 tenths up in his time, but not quite enough to leapfrog his title rival at the minute of Oro, but they are only split by 1 millisecond at the minute. This is going to be extremely close between Oro and Jensen for potentially that P2 spot. NASCAR in the Williams looks absolutely rapid so far on this track. Currently first on provisional pole, takes always just half a tenth slower than his previous time, but it is still well within that 28.6 ballpark times there, and he's really on it at the minute. Here is Mike. Haven't seen too much of him, but he's flying so far. Heading round turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 there, up into 8 and heading down to Copse Corner. And down the old pit straight we go through Copse, 173 miles an hour for Mike. Up into Maggotts and Beckett's we go. He is looking strong on this lap. And through the final part of Sector 2 now, he's 2.5 tenths up on his time. He's currently on a 27.3. Could Mike be the next driver into the 1 minute 26s here? And it seems he could well make it there. It is a 27.1 for Mike. Dropped a bit of time in the final sector, but up into P4 he goes. That is a very, very good time for the Red Bull driver there. And we jump on board his teammate. Here is Exception. Can he go join his teammate up in the top 5? He can, and it is a 26.7 for the Red Bull driver of Exception. He has just taken around 6, about 60 milliseconds out of NASCAR's time. That is a very strong time for Exception. Both Red Bulls now up into the top 5. Who should we go on board now? Here is Adam. He's on a slow lap at the minute. Let's go to Frenny, coming round the final part of the circuit, potentially on just about the start of the lap. They are 15th at the minute in this qualifying. Around 5 minutes to go, I would say. The Racing Bull of Frenny looking half decent so far. Is actually reserving for Tin Man in this race, so looking to put his name on the map out there for all the other team principals for potentially next season as a full-time seat. I know we are only 5 races into this season, but it was always good to put your name into the hat, give all the team principals a bit of a headache early on, trying to make some decisions for next season. Give everyone what we all want as well. And as we've been watching here, he has actually unfortunately invalidated his ninja just behind. Is he going round? No, he's not. Heading into the pit lane. Mr. G on a flying lap here, up through turn 4 and 5 we go down to, I want to say that's the Wellington Straight, but I'm not 100% sure. DRS is open though. Heavy-ish braking zone into that corner there, and perfect, straight on where I need to be. So through turn 8 of Woodcote, he goes up into turn 9 of Cops. Now I've got everything in front of me properly that I needed ages ago. Through Maggots and Beckett's, here goes Mr. G. It is looking strong. It is looking promising. He is currently 10th fastest, and always a little bit under on his time at the moment. Heading down the Hanger Straight into Stowe Corner we go, and through to 16 of Vale, but not quite this time. For Mr. G, opted to back out of this lap now, and potentially go stick some fresh tyres on for he's not quite going to make it round for another lap is Mr. G, so that is his qualifying over. Potentially a top 10 start for the Racing Bull driver, currently sandwiched in between both Alpines who are on flying laps and out laps at the moment. So here's our second place in the standings, second place in this race at the moment, in this qualifying at the moment, has actually hit the 26.8 marks. He's jumped above NASCAR, taken the fight for pole position now, to exception. NASCAR is probably looking to reclaim that provisional pole. Oro heads into the pits. Exception starts his lap now. Here is NASCAR heading up to Brooklands. Here's the first DRS zone on the circuit. Decent braking zone there, down to 4th gear now. 100 miles an hour through Brooklands. Drops it to, I think that was 74 Luffield and Woodcote now. Down the old pit straight, up through Cops we go. It is decent here for the Williams. Let's see how Exception is doing. Our other driver in this fight, currently in this fight for provisional pole. Jensen smashing up into the P1 at the moment. Clint into P2 as well. 26.7s. They are matched on times. That is unbelievable at the minute. 3 milliseconds behind. That is Exception at the minute. These are some blimmin' good times at the moment. NASCAR now round the final couple of corners we go. What can he do with this time? It is provisional pole so far for the Williams driver. What can Exception do as we head once again through the final couple of corners? He is looking pretty good as well. Can he get into the 26.7s? It is, and it is the 27.1 for Exception. Stays P4. His teammate in P7 there for Mike. Will and McCoy now flying around for these final bit of laps, and Will's getting a massive bit of a throw from McCoy. Will goes up to P7, and that is qualifying over. As if we've just had NASCAR, Jensen and Bott and Clint on identical times. That is unbelievable. And there goes my book. Are absolutely crazy. So NASCAR takes pole. It is Clint and Jensen in second and third, and that I'm gobsmacked. 20 stats, just yeah. So wow, I didn't expect that to be beaten, and then NASCAR comes in with that, and now everything we've just learned in that qualifying session is gone. We have a typical British summer day here. It is chucking it down with rain. We're probably going to have a good chunk of full wets for this race, and not entirely sure how this one will play out now. We'll be back in a moment. We're just going to let all the drivers sort what they need to, and we'll be back very, very soon. So, formation up underway. We've got 19 cars on the grid. While we run down the grid, run down starting positions real while formation lap goes on. So, NASCAR in the Williams, I believe he is so yeah, NASCAR is a reserve, I believe, for this race. Putting in a solid performance so far in that seat, putting his name right out there for all the other team principals. Solid qualifying once again for Williams driver Jensen, now P2. P1 in the constructors, what's a donut? P1 in the drivers, looking for another fantastic race, just ahead of his title rival in 5th place of Oro. We've got Clint in 3rd, Exception in 4th. The man we've just mentioned, Oro, in 5th place, EA in 6th, Will in 7th, Mike in 8th, McCoy in 9th, Audi in 10th place. I believe he is a reserve for today. Also, Frenny in 11th place, Adam in 12th place. Mr. G unfortunately dropped a few places down to 13th. Edgar in 14th place there, our last season's title challenger, and I believe winner, but I can't for life, I don't want to get that wrong. Logan in 15th, Ninja in 16th, MJ in 17th, Peter in 18th, Capitano in 19th, and here we go, we are off for this race. It is a fantastic start for Jensen, getting ahead of NASCAR for the lead. NASCAR going off track, reclaiming the lead. I don't think that is going to be allowed for... I don't think that's really allowed. As Exception now around the inside of the leading two cars. Oh my days, they've just had a crash. That is unbelievable at this early start of this race, and oh my days, I've just clicked off that at the worst possible time. That was not a pretty rejoin from the Williams there. Oh my days, we've just got contact after contact after contact here. That is unbelievable stuff through this opening sector. Cars sliding all over the show. This is a typical British Grand Prix right now. Unbelievable. You cannot see anything in front of you. Exception has pulled away by 2 seconds almost, and everyone else is struggling to see what is ahead of them. Let's see what they are seeing on board their cars at the minute. Oh yeah, it is not pretty to look at that right now, is it? That is not enjoyable to drive. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong buttons. There we go, back to where we need to be. So Adam gets past McCoy, up in the 5th place. EA in 4th place. Oh my days, having a bit of a slide, tapping the back of Oro's Aston Martin there. We have got Clint in 2nd at the minute, a decent start for him. A rapid start for Exception, currently 2 seconds ahead in... Oh, sorry about that. In this opening couple of laps at the minute. Cars sliding all over the show as we come through the first few corners there. Up to Brooklands we go. The loop has not been fun for drivers this race. It is predicted to be an all-wet race. Well, full wet tyres this whole race as well. Edgar up into 8th place, making a move round the inside of Luffield there on Ninja, and into 8th place. Ninja down to 9th. Frenny in 10th place at the moment. Let's have a look at position changes in the early stage of this race. The two drivers to lose out massively, well, 3 drivers, to lose out massively this race. NASCAR, Will and Jensen having moments early on, with NASCAR and Jensen leading the race, having a moment, and unfortunately one or the other going off the track and taking the other with them. So the big winner in this race, though, Exception so far, is leading away, has made the most out of the early incident. Oh, that's better. Sorry about that. Right, it got up 5 places so far. Ninja has actually moved up the most places in the opening 3 laps of this race, up to, I was about to say 8 places, up into 8th, but he's now up into 7th place, making moves once again. Audi getting back past round the inside of when I said that was Luffield. Now he's under attack once again. He is past Audi once again, so it will be a straight fight now down to Maggots and Beckers, but Audi is under the threat of the Aston Martin of Edgar. He's also got Frenny behind him in the Racing Bulls. It is going to be 4 drivers all chasing McCoy down to Stowe corner, down the hanger straight. They've just gone into Stowe. It is a bit of a drift for Audi there in the Alpine, and Edgar just holding on there. Frenny trying to make a move as well, just making contact with both drivers and losing some time to them as well. Has dropped off slightly. Edgar now just behind, has dropped off a bit as well from Ninja ahead. He's gonna try and probably, well, no doubt will want to start moving back up the field and start moving further up the field, shall we say. He is up 6 places, a good start so far for Edgar in the Aston Martin, who haven't we seen for a little while. Here we go then. Clint has brought that gap to exception, now down to a second. We are going to have a fight here for P1 in the coming laps, probably in the next 2 or 3 laps. They could be much closer than what they are. He has taken another 4 attempts out of exceptions lead so far. Clint is on is flying right now. He's got Oro behind him. Here we go. 1 second between the top 3 drivers. This is now anyone's game. Exception look to have been running away with it in the opening few laps. He is now being chased down by the Williams of Clint, chased down by Oro just behind there as well, and Exception seems to have a bit more straight line speed, is pulling away down the straights there with EA setting the fastest lap, yet he's 100% running less wing for this race. A few drivers have probably taken precaution in qualifying and gone for slightly more downforce, knowing it could have been this horrible conditions for the race. Ninja now up 10 places. He's having a fantastic race at the minute, up into 6th place from 16th on the grid. Probably potentially going to make some more moves in this race as well. We are only a quarter of the way through at the minute, if that. A fifth of the way through, should I say, sorry. So, plenty of action still to come. It is not much happening at the front here at the minute. Still a few drivers well within touching distance of overtaking each other, but unfortunately with no DRS available in wet races, it's just going to be virtually, not virtually impossible, but almost impossible to make any real dent in some of these timings between the drivers at the minute. Just a lot of DRS saving, ERS saving, and using it when they it's much tougher in these conditions to try and work out when to deploy the battery. But these guys at the front, they know, they have been just taking these races to a whole new level week in, week out at the minute. They've understood each other, and I think they know now when each driver's going to use the battery, and probably try and deploy it all at the same time, try and make it as difficult as possible with good majority of them even these guys towards the back, as Jensen is now ahead of MJ, moving back up the field for the Haas driver, currently in 11th, dropped a few places after the start. We've got 20 laps to go. Jensen in 11th place. We've got NASCAR down in 18th place, just not quite having enough pace to make any real dent in Will's Ferrari at the minute to catch up. Is just struggling down the straights at the minute. No, struggling in the corners for NASCAR at the minute, as we see on the timing screens, catching up in the straights for the Williams on the Ferrari. We are currently watching Jensen at the minute. He's 7 tenths behind Audi. Could he have this point? Could he be back in the point scorings this lap around? Depending on how quick he can get past Audi, it could be the straight. Actually, he's gained a huge amount of time in that first sector alone. What can Jensen do heading into Brooklands Luffield and down to Crops Corner in a minute? Takes the inside line, tries to get a bit more grip than the Alpine ahead of him. As the Alpine has a moment, it's not quite enough for Jensen to catch up this time around. Had to pull the foot off the accelerator slightly. Oh, the camera's actually horrible. Get it off. There we go. We'll go on board. We'll watch the action from this angle here. Here is Jensen. Will he attempt to make a move? Not this time around. Once again, this is causing plenty of issues for overtaking at the minute. The battery, idiot. Speak. Battery deployment really not doing too much for a lot of these drivers at the minute. We are seeing plenty though, having moments mid-corner, out of the corner as well, just sliding all over the show. There is a dry line appearing, but it's just not anywhere near enough to what these guys would want right now. And is Jensen about to make a move around the outside of Audi here? Not quite able to do anything this time around. Tries to go to the inside, and again, not able to do much. Is side by side as we go through Luffield and Brooklands there, and is ahead as we get to Cops. That was a good move from Jensen there. A brave move to make a move there as well. But it has paid off, and he is now up into P10 with Audi down to P11. So, although unfortunately with the first time penalties of the day and slowly dropping off the back of Clint as well, exception just starting to put away once again as well, has been for the previous few laps, and it seems to have this race in control at the moment as well. We are 9 laps in, plenty still to go. Definitely some pit stops to come. We'll see how many drivers make stops, or I wonder if anyone will try to take these tyres all the way to the end, because you don't, unless they've changed the rule, I don't believe you have to box for a separate set of wet tyres. The two compound rule pretty much goes out the window for these races. So I wonder who will be brave enough to take the wet 26 laps. Ninja breaking into the 144s now in this race. He is 5th at the minute. He's having a fantastic race at the minute. Let's go on board the Ferrari, see how he does in these next few laps. He is currently having a battle with EA ahead of him in 4th place. Ninja up 11 places, EA up 2. What bit of a fight can these two give us now? Let's jump on board, see what happens. Through Woodcock Corner we go. Here is Woodcock down the straight to Copse Corner. He is gaining slightly, but not enough. Oh my days, what a drift from EA there. Ooh, that is unfortunate there. Bit of a moment for the Ferrari driver. EA just moves over, lets Ninja past. Probably understands that isn't his fight for the time being. Here we go then. Ninja now up into P4. Is this podium on for the Ferrari driver? Exception jumps into the pits for a change of tyre. We are 11 laps in, and he is the first. No, he's not, because a few drivers boxed towards the back of the pack there as well. Let's see who has stopped at the moment. There we go. That's the one we want. So, we've had Pizza, Logan, NASCAR, Will, McCoy and Exception all box a fresh tyre. What ones are they on now? We've got Logan on the Inters, we've got McCoy on it. So both McLarens taking a gamble, going to the intermediate tyres. Will it pay off for these guys? Is it too soon to start seeing the slightly quicker tyre out of two wet tyres here? It could pay off towards the end of the race. It could start paying off in the next few laps. We'll see how they go. We do see actually Logan now does get ahead of NASCAR. Our pole sitter is currently 18th place. This has not been the race he's wanted at the minute. It has been difficult for the Williams driver, and probably not one he's going to want to remember anytime soon. So we are watching the McLaren of Logan on the intermediate tyres, seeing how... Oh, I love my internet there. Lovely lag spike. That hasn't happened for a while. see if it is the internet or if Logan's car just wants to go dancing for a moment. So McCoy with a 43.7 on the inters. This is showing a few drivers that boxed for the full wets earlier that maybe they should have taken the gamble. We have got as well Edgar, EA and Clint have all jumped to the inters as well. They've seen enough from the two McLaren that they want to take this gamble as well. And well, it's not really a gamble, to be honest. It's probably going to pay off quite well for these guys here. So let's head to this midfield points battle for 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, well, basically the whole bottom half of the points here is up for grabs still. There's 5 cars all in it. It is from P6 down to P10. Here they all are, and we see Ninja there just trying to make a move on the inside. It is paid off for him. The Red Bull of Mike has a moment. 3 of the drivers now jumping into the pits. How many drivers will jump onto the inters? EA's gone onto the inters, so not EA, sorry. No, EA has gone onto the inters against Ninja on the full wets. They're both a lap old, so it is now going to be down to who can get these tyres warmed up quicker and who has the better grip through these horrible mixed speed corners really. Here we go then, down the inside for EA. It is paid. Oh, that is a good. That is unfortunate there for EA. It looked to have made the move and made it stick, but Ninja just does not want to give that position up. He's just fought back, has a slight moment through Cops, drifts wide, but stays ahead in the podium position there, ahead of EA. Not much separating these two drivers. Ninja just making the most out of these wet tyres, these full wet tyres for the time being. Here we go though, EA is fighting back. Oh my days. That was one heck of a move sideways. Don't know why he went that far wide with it. Pulled out a bit too quickly, probably even for his liking. Adam jumps into the pits, jumping on to the inters probably. Ninja still ahead of EA here. What else can be done for the Alpine on the inters there? As we saw Edgar setting the fast lap of the race at the minute. Down into the 43s was that? 41.9 for Edgar. That is flipping rapid. Compared to the majority of the field, that is 2 to 3 seconds quicker. Only Clint is closest to that time at the minute. This battle for P3 though is heating up nicely between these two. So, as for time penalties in this race, Audi on 10 seconds, Oro Capitano NASCAR on 3 seconds. Here we go. Edgar has also entered the fight now for this podium position. Can he make it another double Aston Martin podium? There's roughly half the race to go. We've seen 15 laps so far of this British Grand Prix. It has been pretty miserable for the weather, but it's given us some very good racing here. It has been pretty it's been fairly clean for the most part. Opening few laps with it absolutely chucking it down with rain gave us a couple of entertaining slidey moments with the leading cars, giving us a few moments up and down the grid as well. So Ninja down to 5th at the minute, EA in 3rd position, Edgar in 4th. Edgar definitely wanting to get another Aston Martin double podium. He's fighting down EA now for P3. EA though just doing what he can, staying ahead, keeping a decent gap between himself and the car behind. Ninja though just slowly and unfortunately dropping behind. Let's jump on to Exception's car here in the Red Bull, just behind the McLaren of McCoy. It is probably going to be a fairly straightforward pass for fairly straightforward pass for Exception through the tyre difference. Not much between them. Admittedly, there is 3 laps difference, but it does make a bit of a difference for overtaking at times. Goes to go round the outside, tries to dart down the inside late on, but good awareness from both drivers to make sure nothing major happened there. Exception done well just to get the brakes on early, as it seemed a fairly late dart to the inside line. More time penalties unfortunately coming in for people here now, with the changing track conditions just starting to play a little role in some of these off tracks at the minute. So who's jumping into the bits? It is Ninja, presumably to go on to the intermediate tyres now. Hasn't got many laps to try and fight back though. He was in a fairly decent position, but did look to be losing positions quite quickly as well. We've got 9 laps of racing to go. This has been a good fight between Exception and McCoy so far. Pushing each other hard, pushing each other to the limits. Nothing completely out of this, nothing completely outrageous happening between them. They've given us a decent fight this past lap or so from what we've seen, and probably has been going on for a couple of laps before we joined as well. They were fairly close, and this is only for P6 and P7 at the minute, but it is still every point counts for these drivers. Championship standings are where is championship is actually close in the midfield at the minute. A fair few drivers on 8 points at the minute. A few on, well, in fact, let's have a look at this property. Everyone from 7, Logan, Adam, and Will are all on 8 points. Pizza's on 6, EA's on 5, Tin Man's on 2, Mr. G on 1, Ice and Capitano are unfortunately the only other, and Badger unfortunately the only non-point scorers at the minute, but it is still so close in that bottom half of the standings at the minute. It is anyone's game, anyone's to play for as well, and plenty of races. There is a lot of surprises to come, and no doubt in these coming 10 remaining races after this. We'll find out afterwards. We'll have a proper look. So we do have a caution in Sector 1. It is Capitano retiring in the pit lane, unfortunately for him. Let's jump on board the top 3 here. There is a bit of a gap between Clint and Edgar at the minute, 8.5 seconds. EA 2.5 seconds behind in P3. Jensen 5 and a bit seconds behind as well. So unless anything crazy happens in the remaining 7 laps, that top 3 seems almost pretty much all but secured, and more than likely in that order as well. Again, no, 7 laps to go. Anything can happen. So here we go, and we've got a huge battle for P7 here. It is Audi, Mike, Oro, Adam, Ninja, all in this fight. 5 cars in it, and we're going to sit and watch this for a little bit, because it could really open up for the remaining part of this race. Anyone could take it. It's only for 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th place. 5 cars in it. Unfortunately for one of them, someone will end up outside the top 10, and yeah, well, it's going to be tough for whichever driver that happens to here. It is... Wait, I went on P10, not P11. Right, so Audi down to 11th place. He was in 7th place when we jumped on board this group of cars. These drivers just making the most out of the tow that they were getting. Audi jumps into the pits, has retired from the session with 6 laps to go. That's baffling. He was in a good position to go score points in this race. Never mind, eh? Right, so the battle's now down to 4 cars. There is a bit of a gap now between Adam and Oro in 8th and 9th. That is not going to be what they wanted. MJ has... Let's get MJ back in. I've got him. Too many people. Maybe I haven't. I swear I had him. That's weird. Huh. Ninja got past Adam as we were in menus out. Alright, yeah, that's... So, 4 laps remaining in this race. We are doing our best to get MJ back in here. Let's do something quickly actually. Let's try it this way. No, can't even do it that way. Damn. Horrible camera, get me off that camera. That is grim. Especially at that horrible side as well. So Mike, 1.5 seconds behind at the moment. We have got Jensen though, 4th place at the minute at the moment, heading for a Jensen closing down on a top 3 spot here. Currently 4th, EA in 3rd place at the minute, 6 tenths between them, with 3.5 laps to go. This has been a pretty decent race for the most part. A fair few gaps opened up. Oh, when did that come through? I just got thrown off then. Ignore that screen for a moment. So Jensen trying to get past EA at the minute, and not quite able to do too much that time around. We're going to try and find MJ's name once more quickly. Exocon exception 8. None, no, not there. Fives, nope. I don't understand this. Okay. So, Jensen just getting past EA there in the background behind the menus. Up in the P3, EA just falling back now from this P3 spot. Can he try and get back past over the next lap in a bit? We've got 2 laps left after Clint gets past the start-finish line. So, where is our next don't. Right, let's try and. No, this is weird. That's not right. I don't get that. McCoy Oro exception currently fighting for P5 at the minute. Oro only a couple of attempts behind McCoy at the minute. This could go down to the wire for these 2 drivers, or these 3 drivers, sorry. Oro just having a slight pace advantage between from those 2. Here is Clint and Edgar are heading across the line to end the British Grand Prix here. It is Clint taking the checkered flag, Edgar in second place, Jensen in third place, potentially in a moment depending on penalties there. It is EA that retakes P3. Jensen drops down to fourth place there. Exception McCoy and Oro are now all about to cross the line in a row, with Ninja just behind, who jumps up to P5 after time penalties have taken place. Mike in 9th place, Adam in 10th. We have the Sauber of MJ in 11th place, apparently setting the fastest sector 2 right at the end. Fair enough. A fight to the line between the Racing Bull and the Williams here, and it is NASCAR versus Frenny. That looked cheeky from Frenny there, just pushing the Williams slightly wider than planned. It is them two in 13th and 12th. Will and Logan across the line in 14th and 15th. That is fairly close between them two guys. And Mr. G and Pizza next across the line, also extremely close between them. But that is crazy. Yeah, I tried to find you, MJ, and I don't know where your name disappeared to. Strange. So, there is your podium. It is Clint, followed by Oro and EA on the podium for the British Grand Prix here, with Jensen, Ninja, Exception, Oro, McCoy, Mike, Adam rounding off the top 10. MJ, Frenny, NASCAR, Logan, Will, Pizza, Mr. G, Audi, Capitano, with the rest of the grid there. We will run through the tyres quickly. Plenty of drivers, all eventually making it to the inters. Plenty of 2 stops and 1 stops down the field as well, with only 3 front wing changes from the early stages. So, there has been your British Grand Prix. That has been your British Grand Prix. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Until next time around, let's have a little look quickly where the next race is. Will be in Jeddah next week. So, a nice street circuit. That is going to be interesting. So, until then, thank you all and goodbye.